Today we're going to talk about how we managed to close our first client and how you can do it too.
So today we're going to talk about how you can close your first client, how we closed our first client, some tactics that we can share with you guys, some challenges that we faced before. Before we start talking about all of that, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Spotify, and because there's more contents that are going to come up just like this. Okay, so maybe we can start off with give the audience some context on how we started.
I think initially we started off as a startup, right? So we wanted to build like the next LinkedIn for creatives, but that didn't work out. But throughout the entire journey of about, I think, less than a year or maybe a year, we managed to gain about 1,200 creative freelancers and influencers in our creative pool, which managed to bring us our very first client.
Yeah, actually not really. In terms of, so we are, to give you guys some context, Plexxie is a social media marketing agency. So at the start, when we first became a social media marketing agency, we did not have any clients, so we used a lot of different tactics that we learned online from all the social media gurus or marketing gurus out there to try to get our first client, to close our first client. So when we pivoted our startup from being that LinkedIn for creatives into a social media marketing agency, it's quite a while before we got our first client lah.
Yep.
Right? Because we had not much expertise in marketing, to be honest. We had not much expertise in all the details of managing a client or managing a team in an agency. So it was definitely a challenge at the beginning. Some of the tactics that we can share with you, we tried a lot of things lah, right? So do you remember how we started becoming a social media marketing agency?
I think initially we were more focused on like content creation, such as graphic designing, photography, videography, events and stuff, right? But that's where you got us to read a lot of books. Yeah, and then like we read stuff like the Lean Startup and everything, and that sort of helped us to learn on expanding more avenues to be able to extend our reach to clients who are possibly interested in like getting an agency for their marketing lah. Then that's where we decided that we should also extend our services into social media marketing, since we are already able to do like graphic designing and all those kind of stuff. So the very first thing that we did was to come up with a package. I remember.
So when we first came up with a package, so we had like 3 tiers of packages. So we have like basic, forgot what was the packages called, like some like quirky name. We had 3 different tiers of packages where clients talk to potential like prospects and they can sign up under one of the packages lah. But ultimately we did not close any clients at all. We tried a lot of different tactics that I'm pretty sure some of you guys might have tried as well. So we tried cold calling. We tried email marketing.
Cold calling.
We tried email marketing. We hired people to do the cold calling for us. We tried to
Which
sell.
was a nightmare.
We tried to sell on what else? We tried to do audits, social media audits for prospects, for potential clients, and then we just send it over to them, hoping that they will reply us back.
Tenders platform.
We did a lot of tenders.
We wrote articles.
We wrote a lot of articles. I think these are all the different tactics that we used to try to close our very first client.
And of course, we also use our social media pages
Yes.
to extend on our services.
Yeah. So I think in terms of social media marketing, all those, right, technically did not work at all. But what it helped us to do is to garner more experience, because it's a lot of practice. Let's say when you do a social media audit for a potential client, who by the way, they never ask us to do the social media audit, we just do it for them. Mainly targeting like small businesses, small to medium enterprises like SMEs. So when we did these social media audits, actually we learned a lot from doing all these audits, because we basically break down what these companies or these social media pages are good at, what are they average at, and what they need to work on. So based on that, we learned maybe we did 100 social media audits. So that is like, one audit is probably like you need to spend maybe 2 to 3 hours. So that's roughly like 300 hours.
Yeah, I remember you trying
audits.
to like churn out at least 10 per day.
Yeah. So that's what we did. So it didn't come out to any potential any client. We didn't close anyone. But hindsight, we learned a lot from doing this type of things lah. And
no,
even
but I got to say, like, out of all, I think the most potential ones were actually surprisingly email marketing. We didn't manage to close any, but in terms of the rates of response that we got for their interest and stuff, it was quite high. I think possibly 30 to 40%. Yeah. But the one that really worked well in terms of extending our reach without having to do much stuff was mainly article writing. Yeah, because I think we provided tips about social media and stuff. So
and that as well will help you learn more about social media marketing as a whole.
Yes.
But ultimately, the main tactic that actually really worked, and not a lot of you guys are going to like it, is networking. Networking is the number one way for you to close clients. You need to go out there, talk to people, sell your idea, and gain feedback from your idea. It doesn't matter if it's social media marketing or if it's any type of business. Any ideas that you have, right? You just need to talk to people about it, interact with people one-on-one, and try to see if they have any opinions and whether they are coming from a valid standpoint where you can improve your services or improve what you are offering.
Yeah.
I think that is the best way. And once people realize that you are serious about your product or your services, once they realize that, hey, this person is continuously trying to improve, and they can see that, the clients will come. So ultimately, to close your first client, number one is to network with as many people as possible. Number two is to really hone your craft. So you really need to drill down on what you need to work on, what you feel you are already good at but can still further improve, and try to basically raise the level of your own services lah. And number three is what people always overlook, is to be genuine and sincere about your services when you talk to these people, the potential clients or anybody in a sense. You must be genuine in trying to help them gain results. And I think if you're good, you're genuine, you're definitely going to win.
Yeah. So to extend on that, in terms of networking, what are like the possible channels that you recommend?
So in the past, when we first started, I think LinkedIn gained a lot of popularity. I think they really gained a lot of traction in the past 2 to 3 years. So when we were first on LinkedIn, they are not new per se. They're just filled with a lot of very corporate people. But right now, LinkedIn is catered more towards, I think, like younger millennials or even like Gen Zs are starting to be on LinkedIn, not only to look for jobs or to look for a better career, but to also see what is happening in the industry. So I think LinkedIn is a very good place to network. Most of the people who are on LinkedIn, they are pretty much serious about their career or their craft. So LinkedIn is a good place for you to network. We also went to a lot of conventions.
Conferences.
So like conferences. So like some of the conferences that we went was like RISE, We even like had a booth there
At Hong Kong.
in Hong Kong, yeah. I mean, in Singapore, there's a lot of like startup conferences.
Oh, which leads back to the point of being on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
The more you socialize with people on LinkedIn, you connect with them, higher possibilities of getting free tickets to conventions. Yeah, because that's where they will start like inviting you to their booth, and then you'll get free passes, which allows you to connect with even more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, conferences, LinkedIn, and I mean, the next one is just your friends.
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
So just your friends. Talk to your friends about your idea, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. And find people who are going to be constructive.
Yep. Because you never know who's gonna be your next referral for your first client.
Yeah. So ultimately, just be nice to everybody and be genuine in what you're trying to do. I think you're going to win.
Yeah. But in terms of like your craft, like how do you show people as maybe an individual entrepreneur or someone who like just started their business, how is it possible for them to show that you know what you're doing? Like for example, for us, what did we do?
I mean, for us, what we did was the audit. Yeah, so I think the audit really helped us. And when we craft our proposal, our very first proposal for our potential client, right, the audit really helped a lot because, I mean, we already spent 300 hours of doing audits for a bunch of other companies that never asked us to do the audits. So when we are actually doing it for someone who's paying us to do it, by that point of time, we already know what we are supposed to do. We are prepared for it, basically. So audits actually will showcase to people that you know your stuff. I mean, I know it's hard that you don't have any portfolio to work on, right? I mean, to showcase to the potential clients, but I think audits is one way that you can prove to them like, hey, I know how to do this thing. Like, I actually worked on this in the past. I mean, having no portfolio and relating that to not having a client, right? Because you never worked with anyone before and you don't have anything to showcase, it's such a lame excuse.
Yeah.
It's such a lame excuse because you can just do something. Let's say if it's like something about creative content, you can just create creative content just for the fun of it.
Yeah, you can basically just
or like
come up with your own portfolio.
Or like you put yourself like as if you're working for this company and then you're just going to create the design for them. You can just do it at your own time.
Yep.
And then you can just showcase it to people.
It's as simple as just like coming up with sample designs and then sending over, coming up with like sample strategy and helping the clients to better understand that when you come in, how are you going to better benefit their company and bring them more awareness or sales depending on what they're looking for lah.
I think like even like sample contents, right? Like even if you do designs for clients who are not paying you yet, and let's say we have client A, and you just do some designs for client A and just send it over to them. I mean, if they like it, then they like it. It's good for you, right? And if they use it, then they use it. Then it's still good for you. It's still a win for you, even though you're not getting paid for it. What you're gaining is that the fact that they are using your design, and it also somehow validates the point that okay, if they are using it, I mean, I must be worth something. You can just get up and just do something about it. Even create a fake account of a business and try to run it, see how everything works, right? So nothing is stopping you from that end now. Yeah.
What you're trying to say is that there's always a possibility for everything.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Being in the service industry, choose your niche and do damn well in it. Once you do that, then you can try to figure out how to expand. But at the first stage, you need to choose your niche. So if social media marketing is your niche, then choose that niche. If content creation is your niche, then choose that niche. Dive very deep into it. Try to cover all bases of that niche. Then you can try to explore expanding into other areas. So to summarize it up, to close your first client, number 1 is to network. Number 2 is to know your shit. As long as you understand how to execute your services effectively, means nobody can take advantage of you, and you know how much work actually is involved in doing such services. And number 3 is just to be genuine with everybody that you meet. If there's a potential client, be genuine with them. Try to come from a point of understanding instead of a point of argument or finding things to argue about. So, yeah.
Even if, let's say, they are not in a position whereby whatever that they would want to carry out is suitable in the sense of like whatever they were doing in the social media marketing area today, try to help them understand what can be done better, and basically guide them lah, because you are working towards the same direction, which is trying to increase their trying to increase their awareness, essentially going down the sales funnel of ensuring that there's conversions, whether it is via social followers or sales. Okay, so I guess that's it. We've come to the end of our closing your first client episode.
Yes.
So remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social platforms. We are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn.
And you cover all bases.
Yes.
And if you'd like to watch our video on how we started our agency, you can find out more here.
See ya.